Met lords and ladies, Jacob Bowder speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... So just to explain it a little bit, you might be confused as to why this is a premiere and not a stream. I'm going to be away for an indeterminate time. I just cut the part of me saying the dates, if I remember to do that, because this won't be that edited, because the point is I'm going to make these very quickly, and I'm going to release them periodically and schedule them so that people aren't, high and dry, starved for content. So it's going to act a little bit differently. There'll be no chat readings, but there will be the same rule of 2 guests. And the 2 guests today are Emily, because I'm recording earlier than normal.
Hi, I don't have a life.
Fair enough. Neither do I until the indeterminate day. And also BB.
Because I didn't stop to consider whether anything would come up within the next couple minutes. I just saw the link and joined.
Oh, well, there you go.
I simply did it off of impulse and did no actual thought about it.
I started this out of impulse, so that completely works. And speaking of impulse, when I actually logged back into YouTube after reinstalling Windows and all that fiasco happened, one of the recommendations I got was just of this random gacha video that just didn't seem to... It wasn't one of the things that was on the list or one of the ongoing series or whatever, but like I said, sometimes these things just call to me. And when you've been doing reviews and stuff for a while, you start to develop a little bit of a sixth sense, by which I mean that if you, not the psychic thing, that's different, but if you've like watched something and you can usually tell whether it's going to be good for a review or reaction within the first 3 seconds of the video playing. And you can see why I was tempted to make this video when I opened up Fantasy High, I think it was called. Yes, Fantasy High, and was greeted with this.
Are you talking about like the Dimension 20 series?
Listen, read the room, like context clues. I don't think so. You've ruined my segue now. Anyway, I was greeted to this.
It's so beautiful outside today.
Okay, so immediately I have something to say. Did you see the way that the walking was done, the sliding in there? So if we just go, again, rewinding because it's the start.
Rewind time, everybody!
Okay, so slide in like that, and then walk a couple of paces, but don't move nearly as much as you did when you just like zoomed in from off screen. So that was definitely a keyframing issue. One of the keyframes was way too far towards the right than it was.
Isn't her voice actor the girl that's in everything? The one that was the one in the Siren one that we watched.
What? The episode description has no credits, but the description just says read pinned comment, and the credits are in the pinned comment. Voice acting credits, the top name is Emma and Yuki, which are the characters, and the person is River Rose. So if that rings a bell, then it might be the person who's in everything. Assuming that is this character, because we don't know any names yet.
Beautiful outside today. I already know that today's gonna be a great day. And is that electricity?
You're in a modern city, so I would think it's electricity that you can see somewhere. Okay. Once again, why do you have to slide in like that all the time? Okay, here we go. Oh, God. I tried. Okay, here we go.
Electricity?
Try this again.
Rewind time, everybody!
Okay. Voice actor. Okay, Brooke the best. Huh. Interesting. Okay, Discord River Rose, there we go. So this is Emma, and this is River Rose, who is presumably in everything. I'm not even going to bother trying to, like... If you can't present the credits in a way that is easy to read, I'm just not going to bother. Here we go, play them all. Well, this is not quite what I meant, but this is better. Thank
By
you.
the way, I also think the format that you're presenting it is a little bit annoying because it's not like actually easy to read. Like I don't just mean with how quick it is. I mean like if you read it, there's just blank roles. Why would you put the role in there?
What do you mean by blank roles?
Well, if you go back to the intro, you can see there's just straight up roles that they just aren't. Like they will have role titles and then nothing afterwards.
Rewind time, everybody.
Okay, so I see what you mean. So voice, so it's presented very weirdly. So the character Emma, then the voice actor. Here's the voice actor's credits: TikTok, Brooke the Best, Discord, River Rose. That's what it's meant to be. It's. I know it's very weirdly framed, and you're right. It is. There's an awful format because you're using colons for everything. Now looking at this pinned comment, yeah, it's formatted in a similar way where it seems like the roles are just blank, but it is just the same people underneath it.
Oh my god!
With all their social medias listed. It's a little better, but not by too much.
Do you know what a colon is used for? You're using it wrong.
Yeah, so it's more like you're using it too much. Like alternating between colons, hyphens, parentheses, any of those things, and get this, that will give people a bit more of an idea of like, okay, this is what I'm looking at here, rather than, I guess, what just happened right now, I suppose. And also, please don't edit your videos like someone's smacking the webcam, because, yeah. Minor nitpick, but why is high with a lowercase h, but fantasies are with a capital F? If it's a proper noun, they should both be capitalized. Also, apparently there was still, yeah. Don't get excited, anyone looking at this in the comments saying there's still mail roles open, because this was uploaded a year ago, so I don't think they are.
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out to Koi, I guess, who gets a credit all to themselves.
I'm still tore up from when my
Okay, yin-yang implication, but not the actual sign. Alright.
It was before I was born, but it still makes...
It's like a bad anime.
Father moment. That's not an actual credit. I think that is like an actual implication that this is somebody's father. We just don't know who the father is yet. As no, we do know the father. We don't know the child.
I'm curious about this left one.
Me sad. Pull up to BP just to get some gas, but I forgot I had...
Okay, one thing I will say is positive. I mean, that is a lot of characters there. That's a wide range of characters, particularly for a first episode in a voice-acted gacha. Considering that when people... one of the main reasons this series gets cancelled is when people go overboard with the characters and can't arrange to, get everything actually done. There's a few people who unfortunately either disappear or have other lives and stuff like that. Trust me, I know, because I ended up, getting to that point with extra steps with the Mutant Girl. That's where I am right now. But if people start out that way, it doesn't tend to be followed through. So at the very least, that's something to be proud of.
Sure, but how many of these characters are actually going to be in the first episode?
Even if they're not, I guess that would be a win for forward planning.
Have a Tesla, man, I'm such a... You don't know a thing about me.
You guys are running way too close to each other. You're going to trip up on each other.
Also, they seem to be running in slow motion while the background is going at normal speed. If they're going to run that fast, they need to. The pacing change between them has to be at least double what it is.
Flash has a similar thing. He runs quick, but the world slows down.
Yeah, but they actually call it out. You didn't see this in the movie, but at one point in the movie, spoilers for anyone who wants to see the Flash movie, that at one point he loses his powers and he tries to run in the exact same way, and they just show like how ridiculous it looks in real life. He's just there, just spinning around, just going.
Here's the thing, I have actually seen clips of him running. What is he doing with his legs? He's like slanted. I'm sure there's some sort of thing he does.
I'm sure there's some sort of scientific reason as to why he runs like that when in Flash mode. I don't know. I'm sure that MatPat can figure that out.
Oh, her whole channel was based around this series.
I don't know what to...
Oh,
you're looking at the person's channel. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, this is like a long-going thing. I think that her OCs turned into a thing, so they didn't originate from...
Did somebody say
this,
long-running series?
Also, the fact that they have, I don't know what to add here, tells me that they want to get through the entire song.
Yeah, like they just filling in the dead air. Very, very curious.
Why don't you discount anime?
Oh, I mean, the
Can you
animation...
imagine? Can you imagine if an
Yeah.
anime just did that?
Wait, I think the momentum is actually slowing down. I think we're gonna sit here for a moment. Oh,
No, I guess not.
Majesty?
That's if it was all edited in order, BB. If it was edited in order, then yes, we would be like sitting here for a while. But who knows how this was this was produced.
You wouldn't last a day in my scarf.
Okay, we've got shipping. That's
hey, didn't we
always
already
good.
get this shot?
I can't even make it
Yes, something similar.
TikTok without.
And we just got a flashback to the same credits we just saw right now. Yeah, definitely
We're just stalling.
Yes. Yep, all of those. Seen all of those. Still should be uppercase. Yep. I have seen many ways to portray extras in a scene. You know, sometimes you blur the background to remove the focus. Sometimes you get eyeless freaks. Sometimes they are just like they are like basically mannequins where they, you know, everything is whited out on them. I have never seen outline black full shadows that obscure like the actual character that we're supposed to be focusing on in the middle of a bright scene. That is probably my new least favorite way of doing extras.
Oh, so that's why. Zero doesn't really like it when people are all over
Okay, so we don't do
dressing up.
mouth animations in this.
Well, she's thinking to us. She's talking to herself right now. She doesn't need to speak out loud.
That's Zero.
Oh.
He's my best friend. We
Okay, now she's opened her mouth and is speaking directly to us.
known each other for a long time, but we just became friends 3 to 4 years
Is she?
ago. Back to what I was going on.
Here's some exposition, everyone. I couldn't work it into the script, so I'm just gonna slap it here so you get the context. Good? Carrying on.
Fangirls, don't leave him the alone. I'll make sure they can't even look at him anymore.
I hate that so much. Why would you add the word in there if you're just gonna censor it anyways?
I personally appreciate that because it's less work for me editing this recording later.
I don't. That's so stupid. Either stick to your guns or not, okay? You wrote it into the script, stick with it.
Oh, violence isn't the answer.
Does it look like a give a
Kinda.
Oh my god.
I mean, it really does seem like you care a whole lot, considering what you just said about them.
Hi.
Are you single or taken?
You're like so amazing.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Are you single or We're massive fans of you, but we don't know your relationship status.
Slow down, ladies.
Can you sign my autograph?
Yes. I'll be able to sign autographs at the cafeteria.
Yes.
See, he seems to be fine with it. I think just, you know, Zero, whatever his name was, was just jealous of, you know, him getting the attention, or maybe he likes this guy or something.
Thank you so much. He's so sweet. Oh, I know, right?
Now, can I please pass by? My friends are waiting for me.
Oh yeah, so sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You know, I'm getting Adrian Agrest vibes from him, right down to him being a cat.
Hey, look, he's coming.
Well, it's about time.
Hey guys,
Hi.
I have a question.
Oh, what is it?
Is it just me who's getting the weirdest dreams lately?
No, me too. When I'm like dreaming or whatever, first it's like good, and then it switches to a nightmare, and then it switches to a good dream again, and it
Okay, I appreciate both of their reactions because when people tell you about their dreams, this is basically the reaction that you get all the time. They're only like interesting usually to the person telling the story and no one else.
keeps on going.
So that's happening to like everyone?
This is happening to you too?
Yeah?
Oh, thank God. I thought it was only happening to people who weren't normal. Then I thought...
Oh, bye-bye, subtlety. Nice to see you again.
I'm normal, right?
Hey, I'm no.
What do you mean I'm normal? You just had legions of fans coming after you. You're about as far from normal as anyone is in this series at the moment. Apart from the fact that Emma doesn't know what electricity is.
Normal.
You aren't exactly normal, but it's in a good way.
Aw, thank you.
Do you guys think we should like...
You know, I do love when people just stay here and talk like they're in a visual novel without changing their pose at least once during a conversation.
Figure out what's happening?
Yeah, good idea.
So, how are we gonna figure this out?
I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
With the power of detective work!
Where the hell did you get a tennis racket?
Jackson.
I don't know, what about the hat and cloak that also appeared out of nowhere? Are those not a concern as well?
Jackson's garage.
How did you...
So, let's get to the detective work, shall we?
But I didn't even get to finish my sentence.
So, who should we ask first?
Well, Austin looks panicky.
You're right!
That must be because of the dreams. Only people seem to only panic about these dreams, except for the fact that we seem to be perfectly normal until someone brought it up.
I didn't get that much sleep last night. That means I'm gonna fail. And if I fail, that means my grades go down. If my grades go down, then I'll fail. If I fail, then everyone will be disappointed and then I'll die.
Where did the dye come from?
I'm gonna die, man. Die.
Don't worry.
That line delivery started off kind of all right, a bit, and you know, like a bit more subdued, but I feel like it should have grown a little bit by this point. You know, because and then I'm gonna fail, and then there's gonna be the word of the world, and then I'll fail, and then I'll be dropping out, and then I'm gonna die, like that kind of thing. You gotta build up to that. You can't stay at the same level the whole time. Otherwise, it doesn't seem like you're like processing and the intensity is going up in your mind. The stakes are going up in your mind, so you should emote that too. I'm so glad that I'm recording this at a time of day when I can actually project, so I can exemplify what I'm saying.
You aren't gonna fail. I'm sure they will cancel the test knowing what's going on.
You're probably right. Maybe I'm overthinking just a little bit.
Hey, guys.
I mean, I guess so. They figured out there's something else going on with everyone. Maybe the school does know, but if everyone already knows that something is happening, then what's there to detect?
Oh, hey, Emma.
Oh, hey, Emma.
I have a question. So, have you guys been getting weird dreams lately?
Me, I have.
Suddenly,
noticed.
you're okay. What?
I just noticed she doesn't have a tail. It's now really annoying. Everyone else has a tail.
She's the reverse Morwenna. This is the reverse. You know, in the words of Lumily, in a world of insanity, it's the sane that are called crazy. One of my favorite quotes of the Mario movie. That being said, going back to formerly panicked boy over here, he literally just went from being like, things could be wrong, my life is ruined, I didn't get much sleep tonight, and therefore everything is going to happen. Hey, you must have some weird dreams. Ooh, me. Like, what? How did you flip-flop that quickly? That's...
Love the fact that you were positive about it.
He's just a little tired. He needs some shut-eye to function properly, but yeah, I've been getting weird dreams.
I think he just fell asleep on the spot. I think he's now... I think he's just gone...
Sleepy too.
Okay, thank you guys.
No problem. Austin, let's go get you some coffee.
Okay.
Seriously, that was it? Hey, if you're having weird dreams, yes. Oh, me too. Cool, thanks for participating. Best detective ever. Like, are you trying to find, like, a common cause or something? Ask what the dreams are or something, what they entail. You're the only person who described what the dreams actually are to anyone, because... And these two seem to kind of agree that they've had weird stuff going on as well, which might be similar to yours, but you didn't ask them about that. They figured out way more than you have by talking to each other than you have by actually going out and actively investigating.
Austin looked like he was going insane.
Yeah, he didn't sound like it, though.
I'm sure he was just tired.
Don't act like you didn't just say, from here, Austin looks like he's going crazy.
Anyways, what now?
We ask my best friend Yuki.
Don't you think this is pointless because we already know where everyone is? And
Also, wasn't Zero her best friend?
That's Zero. He's my best friend.
Wow. Get relegated.
And she's gone.
Hi, Yuki. Hi, Emma. What's up? I have a question. What is it? Have you been getting weird dreams lately? Yes.
Also, what happened to our eyes?
Yes, I have. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you. You're welcome.
Wait, hold on. Was this done by like different people? Is this like Does like Mutant Gold will have multiple editors of different scenes? Let me check. What does it say? It doesn't say any different editing credits from what I can tell from the terrible formatting. However, I did find out that apparently Zero's voice actor is actually Kawaii-chan199 on Instagram. So there you are. At least that's one common ground.
Okay, so she's having weird dreams too, and yeah.
Everyone is having weird dreams.
We don't know that yet.
I mean, you have only asked 2 people, but it does seem like everyone's just figured out this is...
The only one having those weird dreams, right?
The fence is moving and nothing else is.
No,
Okay, actually, I think the background is moving slightly, so the fence is like an optical illusion. Yeah, so the background and the main characters are shuffling around a bit. Their feet aren't moving, so that's something. But then the fence is going the complete opposite direction to them.
happening to everyone.
That's good.
No, it is moving. It is moving the opposite direction. It just... Why? Why is the fence moving in the opposite direction to... Like, if they're gonna go in one direction, don't... Good grief, I feel like I'm in a weird dream right now.
I didn't want to be the only one suffering with these dreams.
Seems like they're having weird dreams too.
Guys, we knew this already. Got us nowhere.
You know, Zero would be excellent at Gacha review.
From everything we know so far, it seems like everyone is having weird dreams.
Well, maybe we should tell the principal about this.
Whoa.
If everyone's having weird dreams, wouldn't the principal already know because the principal's also having the dreams?
Didn't think anything smart would come out of your mouth.
Hey!
Come on, let's go to my mom's office now.
Okay, that's what natural exposition looks like, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Instead of, this is Zero, he's my best friend, until he isn't a few scenes later. No. Actually say, oh, let's go to the principal's office. Oh, some other remark. Let's go see my mum then. And therefore we connect the dots. That's all you need.
So, what do you think is causing these weird dreams?
And like I said, the principal already knows.
I actually have no idea.
I don't have an idea about this either. I don't know much about the dream goddess and the nightmare goddess, so I do not know if they are fighting or not.
My husband knows them, so he would probably be able to help with this situation.
Your husband just knows goddesses? How much prestige does this school have? Genuine question.
I'm not sure. He didn't tell me he would be going out today.
Now that makes me kinda nervous.
Don't worry, you two. He's fine.
Where did you come from?
It's called teleportation.
I mean, you could just come through the door, but yeah, sure.
Well, I know what it's called, but who cares about that? Where's Lucifer?
Slow down, guys. That's what I came here for. What do you mean? Lucifer is super sick, so he couldn't come in. I came to tell you that.
Is Lucifer the dream goddess, and therefore can't guard both the dreams, and that's why the nightmare goddesses reign supreme? That'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
Do you think he'll come in again? Minako says he's fine. He just needs a bit of rest.
I'm surprised you didn't bring your puppet friend with you.
Hi.
You know, in something like It's a Family thing, having those characters like their heads appear from off screen, you know, for a few moments at a time, or if it like fits the scene or something, because in It's a Family thing is when I think it was Carlisle who's waking up, and the reaction of some people like yelling about in the house from different rooms and such. It works there because you wouldn't cut to all of them all at once. That'd be like way too much. But here, you can at least like share the same common space, or you can go back and forth and don't necessarily have to be like, oh, let's emerge from the other side. I can see now why the series came out with all these characters, because they clearly cut down on the production stuff.
Where did you come from?
I've been here.
Oh.
So, I heard you guys
There we go. See, character can teleport, share the same space.
talking about problems with dreams? Yes. Why? I think I know what's going on.
Also, you missed out a chance of having a really like funny illusion here, because we didn't know the character's height difference. So it actually would have been like really funny if the character just starts like walking across and being like, "Ah, yes, I have such an air of like real authority and magic and confidence, and I am friends with Lucifer and blah 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 blah," only to immediately then go into like the rest of the walking path and see like just, that would have been really funny.
There's a similar joke actually in the Owl House, where there's a character named King, and he's like a baby. He's whatever. I'm not getting into the lore here. It's interesting, but not the point of this. He's very small though, and he believes he's the Demon King. He's not entirely accurate, but because of this belief, he believes he's really OP, and even has himself like a little crown. And so his first appearance is actually a silhouette of him walking down, and you hear like big thumping footsteps and like this gigantic shadow. And he comes out, and he's like the size of like a foot and an ankle.
Now, I tell you what my favorite example of this trope is. What was the name of SpongeBob's cousin? Was it Jack? I think it was.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot. I think it is Jack, and that sounds about right.
There we go. Yeah, cousin Jack. The whole time seeing him from, you never see them together until the very end, and he comes out to like his foot or something.
The dream and nightmare goddesses are fighting.
Oh yeah, it's oh that's right, because it was the episode where he was afraid of getting bullied, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throwing himself to fight him.
And then it's
See
just
this
a tiny little ant sponge, yeah.
Yep.
Well, this isn't good. I probably would do something if I didn't have to take care of my sick dad.
I could take care of him instead.
I did just look it up. We were close. It was Blackjack, but
okay, yeah.
Fish, come on, Stone.
What?
We aren't allowed in that realm.
Was he voiced by Jack Black? That would have been funny.
Tell me. Wait a second. Wait. Here, come here. Hold on. Portrayer. No, dang it. He's portrayed by someone named John DiMaggio.
Oh, John DiMaggio. Yeah, I've heard that name before.
Oh god, it would have been so good if it was Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black as Blackjack. Yeah.
I love that. Such a missed opportunity.
He could have been busy. Who knows?
I don't know why. All we did was kick their asses in dodgeball.
Yeah, that was in high school.
Okay, hold on, wait a second. Why did you not censor that one?
I guess because it's less severe. According to the writer, people think different things. They have different levels of intensity.
I'm just saying the F word, you could make the same argument before. It is just another way to say sex, which is not on its own a bad thing. Because of the way the F word is used.
Yeah, most swear words are other words for other things. That's how it usually works.
I could send my 3 best students.
Are you sure they can handle it? They are going into 2 goddesses' realms.
Yes.
I mean, I can kind of guess who the 3 best students are, but from what we've seen in the previous scene, they don't seem that qualified.
These 3 students are the best in the class I am teaching.
That says more about you than it does about them.
I'm sure they can do it.
Okay, I'm going to check on my husband.
Are you going to substitute for his class?
So interesting thing about that. So the way that it was worded, they made it a point to actually remove the collision of the words, right? So I am, normally it would be I'm, just generally. Yeah. But I, of course, that is just I am, which is fine, right? It is still grammatically correct to say what she said. The problem is that very few people say I am because it sounds weird unless you have a very specific dialect or is being delivered in that way for a joke of some sort.
It's very M. Night Shyamalan to do it otherwise, yeah.
So if you're saying it in like a normal American accent, like if I'm just saying, oh, I am going to the park, right? It doesn't sound right. But if you said I am, you have a bit more of an elegant accent that feels like it is designed for that sort of phrasing sometimes, right?
Is that why so many villains are British?
Probably, yes. So it comes down to dialect. It can also work, again, if it's like for a joke, right? And so you're being like sarcastic. So it's like, oh, I am so scared, right? That sounds decent.
Yeah.
But
I think the idea here is to emphasize that these are not necessarily gods and goddesses, although who knows, they might be, but they are magical beings of very high authority and very high regard. So they would, of course, talk with a bit more of like a deliberate tone to them, and therefore use fewer contractions. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's completely fine. I just think that there is a certain criteria you have to have, otherwise it's going to sound weird. And in fact, you can even tell the voice actor didn't like it, because if you go back to that, the am was quieter than the rest of the sentence. They weren't sure about the way they were saying it, and you can hear that.
Let me just actually I'll try and rewind a little bit. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm going to check on my husband.
Are you?
That was definitely an I'm. Was it a character?
That was I'm. I'm talking about the white-haired one.
Okay, yeah.
2 goddesses' realms.
Yes. These 3 students are the best in the class I am teaching. I'm sure.
Yeah, I see what you mean. The class I am. Yeah.
Sure they can do it. Are you going to substitute for his class?
Yes, I am. Call me 5 minutes before the class.
All right.
That I am makes sense. Yes, I am. You wouldn't say yes, I'm there because it sounds weird. Yeah, I'm just emphasizing that for people who think that it's just like use that everywhere, because sometimes when we say things, people take that very literally and don't apply exceptions to it.
And the other thing that's interesting about this is you can tell the voice actor actually knows exactly what I'm talking about, because the way that they said class there. They didn't say it like class. That is the way their actual accent would say it, right? This is a very clearly American voice actor. Instead, they said class, right? They are actively trying a different accent because they know it doesn't sound correct.
Well then.
With technology during a battle.
Whoa! This lesson was so cool!
I like the lighting you've got going on there from the projector. Although, why are there only 3 people in this class? Get some shadow extras in there or something.
Yeah. Too bad.
Oh no, even better. Get the fangirls in there, all crowding behind the famous guy, just constantly staring at him and not the actual lesson.
Half of the class is sleeping.
Yeah.
They might be dreaming right now if that's the case.
I guess I'll just have to teach it again tomorrow.
Diana, you kinda just missed the whole lesson.
I didn't think I would fall asleep during it.
Well, don't tell Austin, because he seems to be really,
He's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself right now, but remember how paranoid he is. He's gonna freak out when he realizes.
Don't worry, I was awake the whole time. I'll send you the notes.
Aw, thanks.
Just wait for the teacher to leave and then tell him that the teacher didn't show up.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you are my best friend after all.
It seems like
Everyone's best friend is just flip-flop in this story.
everyone fell asleep. Can this thing be that bad? They're both sleeping? Wasn't Zero awake less than a minute ago? Guys, wake up!
Huh?
You could have woken us up like normally.
Did I get all the
That was normal. That was barely a shout.
notes?
Yes, you did,
You
but
know,
you fell.
I will say that is the few times that I have actually bothered to wake my friends up during class, I just end up smacking them in the face.
That seems like a you thing.
Sleep, and I just wanted
Relatively
to turn
lightly, but like, you know, enough for them to be jolted up.
Okay. I go for the gentle shake approach.
around to
Well,
ask
see,
you guys
I don't like to do the smack on the head, like, because if they're already, like, sleeping, it's just gonna make them smack onto the table, and that's so much more worse than I actually intend.
Yeah.
something in.
Can Emma, Zero, and Jackson please come to the office? Thank you.
Well, you can just wait for the intercom.
You do now.
But wait, hold on. Yeah, they have an intercom, but Emma didn't know about was surprised to see electricity.
You know what's weird, actually? I will say. So I guess it comes down to personal preference, but whenever you talk about, like, a high school, right, but it's clearly just a joke about high fantasy, but, like, the thing with it is, why do you have intercoms, right? You would think telepathy is just a normal thing, right? You'd think that is a thing you could logically bring into this world, right? And so instead of the intercom, you would have telepathy just going through the students' heads.
Yeah, for the principal, yeah, that would make sense. I suppose maybe not every member of staff is that powerful or something. Who knows?
You would think that the staff.
But yeah, I would love to just to pull like an echoed Voldemort voice or something, just being like, Emma, come to the principal's office immediately.
I didn't do anything either.
You guys aren't in trouble. Just go to the office. I already know what Mr. B wants.
How do you know? That was a private conversation.
Shocker.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, it is a shocker. But as the audience, we should be shocked about that. Why would the students be shocked that the teacher knows what a principal is planning? Normally they're the first to know about this stuff.
How are you doing?
Don't worry, you aren't in trouble.
Yes!
I called you 3 here because you are the most powerful in this school.
What?
That's sad.
But what about Austin? He's more powerful than, like, me, Zero, and Jackson.
Because you're the chosen ones.
You know, I love hearing about how powerful other people are before I've even seen them perform a single feat of magic. That's the way to do it, isn't it? It's like they say, tell, don't show.
But he seems a little too tired to fight, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I called you here because of the problems with the dreams. These dreams and nightmares are becoming a really big problem here at Fantasy High.
Yeah.
Well, look at Emma's detective work just goes right out the window with subtlety earlier.
I agree, but what are we gonna do about it? Me, Jackson, and Emma can't just fight a god.
Well, this plan does not require fighting, but the Nightmare God might make you fight some monsters, so watch out for that. So, are you guys up?
oh, is it like Cranky Kong for the Mario movie? Yes, you can have my cooperation, but you do have to fight my son first, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So already I feel like there's trying to do some characterization for this deity, which I'm hoping they deliver on whenever I actually see them. Because whenever they say, oh yeah, you don't have to fight him, you just have to fight his goons, it's like, okay, so he's not necessarily evil in the sense that he's trying to harm you himself. He's not trying to have like a combat thing. He just wants a show.
Fair enough. There are plenty of Dragon Ball villains that have that motivation. And heroes, actually.
Sounds like it could be fun.
Why doesn't Mr. Lucifer do it? Or some other god?
Because
Excuse
Lucifer
me?
is sick, and the Nightmare Goddess wants the easiest to get along with.
You know, I do love also, you know, not only being told about people's powers that have presumably been demonstrated in previous encounters that we'll never see, but also relaying the exact same exposition a second time, rather than just cutting to the end of this conversation after they've already had a talk with the principal.
And now she has something against us.
Yeah, we will do it. This is gonna be so fun.
It's especially great when you don't see even half of the people who are actually talking because cutting through different shots requires a lot more extra effort and changing poses.
I was about to mention that actually. So, and this just comes to directorial, I guess, but what I would do if I were presented with this script, right, and I were told, okay, animate this, and assuming I knew how to animate Gacha,
yeah,
I would, especially during the original bit where they're like, oh, they're so powerful, I would have just, like, as it's like a pan over them, just asleep on the desk, so it would have been entertaining. It would have shown the viewer that they also need help getting better, right? Because I feel like if it's like, oh, you're so powerful, and then you see them being lazy and tired, I feel like that delivers a message well enough.
Yeah, they're affected by dreams as well, definitely.
Like, I definitely think that while they're saying these things, they could be overlaying it with scenes. Even if I guess it technically wouldn't be the most linear form of storytelling, but I think it would still work effectively. Another bit of a joke, actually, and I'm really hoping they do need help, and they aren't as good as they say yet. Otherwise, I have some complaints, but...
He just experienced them yesterday as well because of the whole thing that's happening. So yes, he absolutely should know what a nightmare is.
This is gonna be so fun.
Well, I do want these dreams to stop.
So?
Fine, I'll help.
If Zero's helping, I'll help too.
Alrighty, it's settled then.
Alright, thank you guys so much. Now go.
You know, there could be something going on between Zero and Jackson. It's like, oh, if Zero's in, then I'm in. And before, Hannah was like, oh, well, I'm going to beat all of these fangirls into submission if they dare so much as touch my man or whatever.
Yeah,
it's going on.
Also, am I the only one getting weird vibes about this whole thing of, like, stopping nightmares?
Not really.
Like, am I the only one? Like, it doesn't feel normal, right? Because to me, a nightmare isn't, like, inherently bad. It's another form of sleep. I mean...
If everyone is receiving nightmares at the same time and a nightmare goddess is established, I feel like there is a reason to interfere if things are going this badly.
I just don't think giving people nightmares is like the worst thing they could be doing is all.
Well, if you're the nightmare goddess, it is literally the worst thing you can probably do in that situation.
Put on your uniform so I can...
And there's no reason that they should just ignore it because it's a lesser problem. And it depends on like what kind of like problems and stakes they deal with on a regular basis. If this were like a really like a major, you know, super important thing, they probably would send like the A-team or something. The principal would probably just deal with it herself and some of the other teachers. But this is at the level where some students can take over it. Basically, to put this in a way that more people understand, this is not an Avengers level threat.
I can have my friend do the portal spell.
Alright.
Is Sakari going to come to set up the portal?
Well, he should be here.
Out of all people, I doubt that his schedule was
Well, that transition gave me whiplash there. Oh my god.
I guess there could have been something more there. Although I feel weird saying that because every other transition and visual effect has been more like someone's punching the screen.
Where could he...
Fantastic. Please?
Do it whenever you're ready.
No, I guess we can't. Cool.
Impressive.
They have a budget here, okay?
Do they? I haven't noticed.
Very amazing and talented, but thank you.
Well, I hope you two have fun with your Uno game.
Alright, that's the correct portal.
Wait, so Lucifer is sick but still came into work? That's commitment.
Okay, what was the point of that? Whoa, stop. What? I thought this was gonna lead into something. Whenever they cut to them, I thought there was gonna be like a conversation here or some more exposition or foreshadowing or something.
Or the portal. Where was the actual portal? We just see another character who we presume is, Lucifer because of mentioning the whole taking care of sick father thing. Or was that other person just the portal? Is that how that works? Just like touch that person's body and you teleport or something.
And one more question: which gods exist in this universe?
Dream goddess, nightmare goddess, Lucifer, and child.
Right, but you don't think Lucifer's just an odd occlusion?
Yes, I do. I just don't know enough information to really make a point about it yet.
Hero and Jackson are going into the.
It's not like they've called the dream gods like Morpheus or something like that or Hypnos. So it's not like we have conflicting mythologies just yet.
Nightmare realm first, correct?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that it will be able to fix all the stuff that's going on with the dreams since they are my top students.
You keep saying that. They keep saying that these are your top students. Why are they your top students? It's just because of the raw power they have.
And there they are.
Is that the portal that we're gonna be going through?
Yes it is.
Is that like the same?
What was the point of any of this? What? Okay, at first what? Huh?
They've
I'm
changed
sorry, you
the
just
outfits.
delivered the same exposition a third time. Time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was because I thought they were already there or something. I thought maybe they'd start talking to said A+ students, right? Oh, hey, there's the students right. I'm sorry, excuse me? Wait, so are you telling me? And that also means that my complaint about us not having a transition was completely useless. You know why? Because we got a transition whenever the important people showed up. We don't need them to. And then it's like, oh, well, see, they know how to add portals. Well, no, duh, do they know how to add portals? They're like
all the same backgrounds, and the portals disappeared.
No, I know, but like, assuming there is a portal, it's like, oh, it's showing the viewer that they can make portals. It's like, okay, oh no, because yes, but they're obviously they can make portals. You would assume they're powerful. A student is the kind of person you need to prove that. The teachers and/or gods, not so much.
Yeah, because they've been working together. They clearly have like reached a certain level where they are qualified to teach in this in this magic school. It's just kind of a thing people tend to accept that the magical people, like the most powerful people, are the ones who are teaching the magic in the universe that you've established most of the time anyway.
Also, is there a mana system, by the way? Because I'm just saying, if there's not a mana system, why did they walk here?
Good grief, it sound like Aiden.
Again, I think it's a valid point. If there is, like, if they can't just get tired, which we don't know, but I'm just saying.
They're students, remember? They might not have learned how to teleport on their own just yet.
Okay.
You think that they would because they're supposedly the top students, but I don't know.
Now,
I'd like to know their limits. I don't care so much about this whole, like, they're super powerful. I'd like to... I am assuming, because you aren't explaining that they can just do anything, right? I'd like to know the specific things that they cannot do, though.
I want to know also what they can do, because, again, we haven't seen them do anything magical. This is the thing. Okay, so to use an example, like, in Alpha Witch Academy, I made sure that, in the scene where they perform their first spell in class, not only do you, see them actually start to learn and use magic in real time on the screen, but also the wear lights are different sizes, because when you're starting off and you have different levels of raw power, then you can just naturally produce a bigger ball of light if you're using all of your energy or even just a portion of it. And that's the way you portray that some students are more powerful naturally than others, but then what do you do with that? You show that the real power comes from what you actually do and how you actually apply the magic rather than the actual tools itself. Whereas here it just seemed to be, oh, you've got more magic. I mean, you can't solve anything to save your life, and honestly, there's like 4 or 5 brain cells collectively between the 3 of you, but you've got enough power. You can probably deal with this.
And the other thing, actually, and I'm amazed Emily hasn't mentioned this, actually, the designs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same color scheme as the original outfits, just different variations of them.
Well, yeah, but like the girl on the left, right?
Yeah.
What's going on there? I forgot what it's called. The thing you wrap around your body to give you the more slim shape. I know
not a corset.
Corset, yeah. The corset's a little bit too big.
It's like a champion belt or something.
It definitely looks like it's trying to be corset.
That prop was always weird to me.
It's a belt. It's a real life belt design. It is used for champion belts. It is used normally. However, it's just really hard to find and for really rich people.
Yeah, also corsets usually wear underneath your clothes and not out of the or not.
I know. There's I mean, that's a second reason to complain about this. And then you have the dude in the middle here. The outfit itself, I guess, isn't. I question the cape, but I guess it's not technically terrible. My question is, what's going on with this pose here? And I've seen this in a few other Gacha things, and I never pointed out, but I'm pointing out this time. Whenever you have your arms like that, that means you're resting on something. He's not resting on anything. I could understand the leg, right? I do that leg thing. I don't pull my arms up like that, though. Why? Because that means you're leaning on something. And then you have the dude on, like, the right, who I have questions about as well. What is this thing with the wings here, right? The wings are in, like, the front of his body. Also, why? You can clearly see ears on each and every one of them. These are not humans, which means now that you've established that humans don't need to exist, then make him a goddamn ethereal bird.
Things on their backs, wings.
No, it's nothing on the back.
Pads.
That's the thing.
The shoulder pads on the guy on the right. That's what she's talking about.
Like that's a shoulder. That's a wing. That's not a shoulder. To make him a bird.
I mean, but
just make him a bird. Make him a big, gigantic humanoid bird.
That's not a wing.
That would be good.
That's
That'd
wing.
be good.
I don't care. No, those are 2 wings.
Okay, by Gacha clothing classifications,
those are clearly wings. They look exactly like wings. They are just blue, like translucent wings.
I think they kind of use a lot of the time for like armor plating. Sometimes
I just don't get it.
So you mentioned that for him, but not for her, because she has.
I
didn't even notice.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell if it was because the dude over here is
like the color scheme is exactly the same as before. Why bother even changing them? Why do they need to change outfits into whatever is going on here? It's not like there was a transformation sequence that led to this. I really don't know.
Oh, you know what we could have? You know, they could have shown us them doing a magical transformation.
They could have shown them doing magic.
All prepared to attack monsters.
Alrighty.
I like it, Picasso.
This is revolutionary, I tell you what.
Sorry, this episode was pretty short. I had to shorten it because of things getting in the way of me working on it. Like
no, so you just don't release it.
Yeah, I know it depends. The scenes might have just been repetition of what we had before, but we don't know that. Okay, right.
Con, she looks like a FNAF fangirl.
Not about this character, about the episode.
How dare you?
And whatever the things she's holding are, they look a bit like what? That's what I use for like Ennard's wires when I'm making him.
I'm pretty sure you use purple and white in like most of your own like OC designs as well.
Yeah, because it's cute. And that's mine's a FNAF channel. It makes sense. I don't post, not the point.
So then you aren't a channel at all.
So you're saying
I am. Say that to my how many subscribers? 2.
I can't remember now.
I think it's 2.4. I don't check it. I don't like it.
Back to this. So I'm trying to think of something I've said for pros that I haven't mentioned already, or might have been forgotten. I think it probably was forgotten in all the adage of like everything else that we've said before. Okay.
Yeah, I like that you established the general plot. You know, that's decent.
The problem with that, of course, is that also it comes out of like so much telling. We didn't see any of the nightmares actually take place, or any of them like even. I know that like waking up in bed when you're starting out a new series is very cliche, but you can at least have somebody like show like a nightmare, and then as they're like at least tossing and turning, if you can't figure out what visuals you want for it, at least do that, and then the next day in school everyone seems to have already be aware that something is happening. In fact, maybe have that be the urgent moment, because like when we start off the episode with Emma's narration, it doesn't seem like there's anything hinting at dreams or anything like that. I could have been distracted by the sliding walking, which is the only attempt at actual movement that seems to be in here other than teleportation.
Yeah, that one scene where you have the teachers or whatever making the portal and that, you could have just cut that entire scene. It was redundant. Including the shot with those 2 other characters that just showed up for like a line or 2. Not redundant, just idiotic. I don't see the point in it. As Jacob said, you did just repeat yourself a lot, which like you could have had visuals accompanying the long bits of dialogue, and then you could have done a little bit of showing among the telling. You could have had humor. You could have done stuff there. This is literally called Fantasy High, and if you're trying to tell me that is not a pun about high fantasy, you're lying to my face. So what I tell you this is I'm kind of annoyed that they were all just sort of humanoid people without, as Jacob mentioned, a ton of magic in the series at all. Like, there's you introduced a ton of characters at the very beginning with the intro, which was okay, but I didn't see most of them. The intro as well, you very evidently stalled, which was just kind of annoying. The format wasn't all that great, admitted, and the thing is, what's annoying is that a lot of these are really easy fixes, like especially the intro, but you could have fixed that within like 5 minutes. But
I should also point out something else. I just realized the title isn't just Fantasy High Episode 1. It's Fantasy High Season 1 Episode 1 Sibling Rivalry. Where are the siblings? That's news to me.
Maybe the siblings were part of the second half that got cut short because reasons.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out in episode 1.5, which seems to be the next in recommended.
Okay, sure. There's also it's both a pro and a con. The pro is I like that you had a bunch of transitions. That's great. Con, they were all the same transition. Like, for instance, in the classroom scene, right? You had like the kids waking up their friend or whatever, right? And then you zoom to the other side. You could have just made a bit of a crawl to that side or panned over. You didn't have to do
clearly this person knows how to move the camera because of the cherry blossoms and the fence from earlier.
Yeah, it's like, and again, it is a joke about high fantasy. Make high fantasy. Throw a bunch of random like fantasy jokes in there. Like make a bunch of like non-human creatures.
Like birds.
Exactly. Like, I say that as like a general joke, but like I genuinely would not be against us having like an actual like student who's just a giant bird, right? That would be cool.
I mean, very Tokoyami, but yes, cool.
And then you could even bring that back in for the plot because evidently you didn't care about the portal thing. So what you could have done is maybe if the students really did know make a portal, maybe you could have had the bird fly him over. You could have pulled like a Lord of the Rings there.
I mean, yeah, an eventual Lord of the Rings at least.
I mean...
Yeah, if the guy on the right was the bird, then that would be an excuse for him to go. And then I guess the other two. Again, show some actual achievements and actual magic so that we know why anyone is going at all. If it needs to be the most powerful students in the first place.
And you know what's funny, actually? The transition that you love to use in this one actually would have worked really well for a bird. I'm just saying, if you wanted to show the bird like flying up really quickly, that transition would have worked really well.
Yeah. Okay, Emily, anything else to add?
I like most of the designs. There are a few which are a bit questionable.
You don't like the main characters?
I don't like the girl's normal outfit. It is just the same color with some white stripes. I can appreciate that not there with her green hair looking like Shrek. The boy, Zero, looks like every 2018 demon. Appreciate the fact he isn't, though. That's nice. The other one is, famous, but he's not actually that hot.
What is he famous for? That's the question. We don't know yet.
He's not even that hot. Like, at least make him hot if he's famous.
Yeah, listen to the lesbian. Make the male character hotter.
Listen, as a lesbian, I can tell when the men are actually hot.
Okay, alright then.
I really like the story. It's kind of dry. Like, I don't like the way it was planned. I can appreciate, it's a story. But the threat isn't threatening. Like, I'll send out 3 of my best students who we don't know who are supposedly extremely powerful. Take my word for that.
To take down Discount Freddy Krueger. Yes.
To take down nightmares when we don't know what the nightmares are, but you also said there were like also dreams in there. So
well, I mean, nightmares are dreams is the thing. Like, yeah, they're just unfortunate dreams.
It was like good and bad dreams, and I don't know. I kind of zoned out in the middle of it. It was kind of boring.
Oh, I see. I did notice a distinct lack of talking on your end, which is rare at this time of day. So I was okay. Well,
I bet back you're playing like Pokemon or something.
That has happened in the past. Pretty sure Shorty used to play The Sims on Gacha Review.
I think I played Animal Crossing for like 2 hours while doing a recording with Aiden.
Oh,
okay.
Hey, that's okay. We tried doing a TTRPG at one point, and Aiden, during like the first session, I think it was, just like had to ask like the GM to repeat themselves because he was playing Pokemon.
Yeah, that's excessive. Yeah, that's the okay.
He wasn't very happy about it, but
no, none of us were. Okay, right. One last thing from me, and then we'll go, and then we can maybe do episode 1.5. I also have KW in the waiting room, so I might have to like rotate one of you out. But we'll see. I mean, fantasy is definitely a thing that KW also appreciates. So yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to that. But first, the last thing to say. Please direct your voice actors more, because it seems like they are a little bit lost right now, and some of their delivery was not. Yeah, you are invisible, KW. I can see though. I'm the host.
Yeah, especially like that girl that I had that tangent at the very beginning about like the I am, right?
And Austin as well, with his like not building up in his delivery.
Yeah, it's just like you can tell that the voice actors know what to do, because you could tell where the girl was leaning, but she didn't actually go through with it. So I get the feeling that isn't a voice actor problem.
All right, yeah. You know that the tragedy is that this episode here actually now has 15,946 views, almost 16K. The next episode 1.5, 590.
Oh, wow. Yeah, seems like a lot of people had the same opinions as us did. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one apparently only came out a month ago. The other one was like a year, but it does seem like not many people actually stuck around for it. But we will. So let's go ahead and I guess wrap this up, because I guess there's no other releases that are coming. So yeah, check out episode 1.5, which will be out. I don't know how I'm going to schedule these. Depends on how many I actually make. So it will be out in already. And